Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So I have no qualification to speak on the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very high subject for me, but whatever I could speak is just by the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and other Vaishnavas who spoke on the subject matter. I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and our deities, Nitya Shri Nitai Gaurchandra Bhagavan, so that I can speak something beneficial to everyone and also bring some transformation in me. Let's recite the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीम् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Okay, today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 5, titled Frustration of Sacrifice of Daksha, text 22 to 26. आक्रमयोरसि दक्षस्य सीताधारेण हेतिना छिन्दन्नपि तदुद्धातुं न शक्नोत्त्रयम्बकस्तदा. Synonyms: Akramya, having sat, Urasi, on the chest, Dakshaya, of Daksha, Sita Dharena, having a sharp blade, Hetina, with a weapon, Chindan, cutting, Api, even though, Tat, that, head, Udhatum, to separate, Na Ashaknot, was not able, Trayambakaha, Virabhadra, who had 3 eyes, Tada, after this. Translation: Then Virabhadra, the giant-like personality, sat on the chest of Daksha and tried to separate his head from his body with sharp weapons. Shastrair astranvitair evam anirbhinnattvacham hara vishmayam paramapanno tadayu pashupatischiram. Synonyms: Shastrai, with weapons, Astra, Astra Anvite with hymns, mantras, evam, thus, Anirbhinna, not being cut, Tvacham, the skin, Haraha, Virabhadra, Vishmayam, bewilderment, Param, greatest, Apannaha, was struck with, Dad, Dadyav, thought, Pasupatihi, Virabhadra, Chiram, for a long time. Translation: he tried to cut the head of Daksha with hymns as well as weapons, but still it was hard to cut even the surface of the skin of Daksha's head. Thus Virabhadra was exceedingly bewildered. दृष्ट्वा संज्ञापनं योगं पशूनां सपतिर्मखे यजमानपशो कस्य कायत्तेन तेन हरचिरः. Synonyms: Drishtva, having seen, Samjnapanam, for the killing of the animals in the sacrifice, Yogam, the device, Pashunam, of the animals, Saha, he, Virabhadra, Patihi, the Lord, Makhe, in the sacrifice, Yajamana Pasoho, who was an animal in the form of the chief of the sacrifice, Kasya of Daksha, Kayat, from the body, Tena, by the device, Aharat, severed, Shiraha, his head. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then Virabhadra saw the wooden device in the sacrificial arena by which the animals were to be killed, to have been killed. He took the opportunity of this facility to behead Daksha. In this connection, it is to be noted that the device used for killing animals in the sacrifice was not designed to facilitate eating their flesh. The killing was specifically intended to give a new life to the sacrificed animal by the power of Vedic mantra. The animals were sacrificed to test the strength of Vedic mantras. Yajnas were performed as a test of the mantra. Even in the modern age, tests are executed on animal bodies in the physiology laboratory. Similarly, whether or not the Brahmanas were uttering the Vedic hymns correctly was tested by sacrifice in the arena. On the whole, the animals thus sacrificed were not at all the losers. Some old animals would be sacrificed, but in exchange for their old bodies, so they received other new bodies. That was the test of Vedic mantras. Virabhadra, instead of sacrificing animals with the wooden device, immediately beheaded Daksha to the astonishment of everyone. Sadhuvadasthadatesham karma tattasya pashyatam bhuta preta pisachanam anyesham tad viprayaha. Synonyms: Sadhuvadaha, joyful exclamation, tada, at that time, tesham, of those followers of Lord Shiva, karma, action, tat, that, tasya, of him, Virabhadra, pashyatam, seeing, bhuta preta pisachanam, of the bhutas, ghosts, pretas and pisachas, anyesham, of the others, in the party of Daksha, tat viprayaha, the opposite of that, an exclamation of grief. Translation: upon seeing the action of Virabhadra, The party of Lord Shiva was pleased and cried out joyfully, and all the bhutas, ghosts, and demons that had come made a tumultuous sound. On the other hand, the Brahmanas in charge of the sacrifice cried out in grief at the death of Daksha. The last verse of this chapter. And Juhavaita chirastasmin Dakshinagvama sitaha taddeva yajnam dattva pratistat guhya kalayam. Synonyms: Juhava, sacrificed as the oblation, etat, that, siraha, head, tasmin, in that, dakshinagnav, in the sacrificial fire on the southern side. Amarsitaha, Virabhadra, being greatly angry, tat, of Daksha, Deva Yajnam, the arrangements of the sacrifice to the demigods, Dagdva, having set fire, Pratistat, departed, Guhya, Guhyakalayam, to the abode of the Guhyakas, Kailasha. Translation: Veerbhadra then took the head and with a great anger threw it into the southern side of the sacrificial fire, offering it as an oblation. In this way, the followers of Lord Shiva devastated all the arrangements for sacrifice. After setting fire to the whole arena, they departed for their master's abode, Kailasha. Purport. Okay. So, just to bring in a quick summary of what's happening in these chapters between like Lord Shiva and Daksha, and what we could learn, right? So, first thing which happened was like where Daksha insults Lord Shiva. When Daksha entered the sacrificial arena, every attendee in the arena were stood as a respect to Daksha as Pratapati, but whereas Lord Shiva did not stand while Daksha is entering. So that Daksha felt like insult, and then he started insulting Lord Shiva. By seeing that situation, Lord Shiva left the arena quietly without saying anything. And later in the next chapter, I think the Sati leaves her body. So there is a discussion happens between Sati and Lord Shiva, and Sati wanted to attend the uh, sacrificial event because all her family members are present and she can go and meet them and all things. But Shiva does instruct her like be careful of going, like he suggests not to go because of Daksha's envy against Shiva might insult her. So, but still, uh, Sati wanted to go and she goes, and Daksha insults her, and then she leaves her body. So, seeing that, like Shiva's associates come back and inform Shiva, and that's what this chapter is happening, where and Lord Shiva creates Virabhadra from his hair, and this whole chapter, like how Virabhadra and other associates of him are destroying the sacrificial arena or punishing Daksha. So especially these 5 or 6 verses which we read today are like means here actually we can see that Daksha is being punished, and Virabhadra wanted to separate Daksha's head from his body and kill him. And he tried all his weapons and everything, and he couldn't do anything. But he finds that one instrument or one weapon which is used to sacrifice the animals uh, in the sacrificial arena. So he uses that weapon to behead Daksha. So in this whole thing, like we can see that like one is like by beheading I'm talking based on the future chapters, like where Lord Shiva brings Daksha back, right? So, and also in the purport, Prabhupada talks about like those animals were sacrificed, but in that sacrifice for those animals, there's nothing is to lose because they're going to attain a higher body and they'll get a new body. And the animals, what they choose for the sacrifice are also old and then they're ready to leave their bodies anytime. So those sacrifices are making favor for those animals. So so in this case also we can see like Daksha is being like means Veerbhadra cut his Daksha's head and then put into the sacrificial arena. But later Daksha gets a new head of a goat and then he realizes what mistakes he did and then he offers prayers to Lord Shiva. So, and when we look at it like in this whole thing, like we can have from these conversations at this particular pastime between Lord Shiva and Daksha, we can learn many things. One is the Vaishnava Aparadha, like we can learn like how important it is to be careful um, and not to make any offenses towards the Vaishnavas. This one example, but Daksha is a great devotee and he is also a progenitor, right? But somehow he developed that pride of his position and other things like so. Though we see in the scriptures like anytime a guest visits anyone, they've been uh, treated with high respect. But somehow Daksha was expecting the respect from Lord Shiva is a guest to the arena. So his pride got affected, and without a second thought, uh, he started insulting Lord Shiva. So the same thing in Bhagavad Gita, like in second chapter, Krishna explains same to the Arjuna. I think these are the verses like where dhyayato vishyan pumsa. So we're dwelling on sense objects causes attachment, which generates desire, which is lust, leading to anger. And when desires are not fulfilled, anger results in delusion, which confuses memory, destroying intelligence, and leading to downfall. So, offending Vaishnavas is like thing. So we have to be really careful in our actions, like especially one thing here, like whatever Daksha did is just his words, like even he didn't do anything. So, and words are so powerful to insult. And the second one is like, if you look at it, Lord Shiva in the whole situation, he never affected or he never reacted when Daksha insulted him directly. But when Sati, his devoted wife, when Daksha insults her and then she leaves her body, so Lord Shiva couldn't really tolerate. So the same thing we hear like many times in many lectures, we hear that Lord might forgive any offenses towards him, but he never uh, forgives the one who offends his devotees. So, and we know that like in this very famous story, like we know that King Ambarish and Durvas Muni. So where King Ambarish tolerated all the offense what Durvas Muni did towards him, but whereas Lord did not tolerate, but he sent the Sudarshan. The same thing like with Haridas Thakur and Ramchandra Khan in from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jagai Madai and Nityananda Mahaprabhu. So we have many examples. Even the same thing like in Kurukshetra, though Krishna vowed to not to lift a weapon, but when Bhishma was fiercely attacking Arjuna, Krishna did the chariot wheel to protect Arjuna. So Lord is always there to protect his devotees, and devotees might not take the offenses seriously, but the reaction would come in some other way from the Lord. So we have to be really careful in our at least actions towards the devotees. So other one like so in this case like Daksha, he's a great devotee, but he is very somehow he got very proud of his performing this great yajna, and somehow he lost his humility or respect or devotion. So these are all for our learnings. It might not be his real actions, but so everyone is great devotee, and all the examples in the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures are for our learning purposes. So, and then because of that pride, he forgot the purpose of the yajna and is for the Lord's satisfaction. And he was thinking this is for his status. So the same thing, like this is the same thing I I heard once in my Guru Maharaj's lecture. So I could never forget, though I'm not there yet, but it makes me reflect on my progression for my spiritual path many times. So like we do like do so much spiritual like hearing, and then progression like sadhana, like regulative principles and all things, whatever we are doing, and if these things are not bringing transformation in us, so that means like they're like just a show off, or like maybe a higher form of entertainment which is in mode of goodness. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness, chanting or hearing or reading scriptures, four regulative principles, or associating with devotees or like-minded people, and all these things to bring in the transformation within. So, and this is just my own reflection. I just wanted to say, in my early days of Krishna consciousness, so I felt like, oh, I'm so blessed that I'm in association of devotees, and so happy that Krishna gave. And then I find many reasons that why I have been pulled into Krishna consciousness, and I'm happy, very happy. And I was very sincere in practicing everything told by Siksha Guru, and very vigilant in my actions and all the things. But as the time went on, feel that lost that sincerity, and many times a thought comes in, okay, this is okay, so this is just one time, so I'm okay to skip it, so I don't have to do. So this example, like I'm saying, but there are many things, but I'm just sharing one example. Like so in my early days, like I used to attend like every visiting speaker to the temple, wherever it is, it's a home program or in the temple or it's in the evening, morning, doesn't matter. Like I used to attend their sessions, irrespective. But as that saying goes, familiarity is breach of contempt. So inner thoughts are like, oh, okay, so they'd be speaking the same subject matter is spoken. So it's okay to miss one session, so it doesn't matter. So the so in the same context, like for Lord, a millionaire offering $1 million is same as a poor man offering a leaf, flower, fruit, or water. So this again said in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So here, like Daksha is thinking he's performing the great sacrifice, but internally he lost the purpose of that sacrifice. So the Lord is not impressed by the scale of our offering, but by the sincerity of our heart. Okay. And the last thing is like anger is another thing, like anger in the service of the Lord. So we always hear like Hanuman is the best example, like how the anger can be used in the service of the Lord. So here this is another example where Veerbhadra is also in the service of the Lord, but he's very controlled and purposeful, and also he is using that anger in the service of the Lord. Whereas Daksha also got the anger, but that anger is materially contaminated, and he got anger because his ego got affected. So it's the same thing, like many times a senior devotees or Maharajas or anyone might chastise for our actions. But that chastisement is to bring in that positive transformation in us. So it's similar to Veerbhadra's anger killed the pride and envy in Daksha. So when he reborn, he is a different person. So so again, it does not mean that like always I display my anger towards others and then support it, saying that, oh, okay, they did that mistakes, and then I'm just saying it because of for their betterment. So because many times anger arises in us is because of our false ego and we being affected on the things. So yeah, just to summarize, Daksha did not lose everything because of his lack in spirituality, but because he lacked his humility, because he somehow he developed that pride and envy towards Lord Shiva. So just as a concluding thing, so Vaishnavas are saviors of us from this material world, but it is hard to build the broken relationship. So a word uttered cannot be taken back, and sometimes they are sharper than a sword. So relationships can be broken because of those words. So have to be careful in our conversations. A Vaishnava might not get offended, but the Lord for sure will send a reaction to it. So I hope by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, we all can purify our hearts and make our devotion genuine. Please forgive me if I spoke anything incorrectly because of my limited knowledge or understanding. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Vaishnavas for giving all this knowledge in an easy, understandable format. Thank you. Can share any corrections or reflections.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
Krishna Prabhuji.
so much. I mean, thank you for doing the class too. I don't have any comments. So, I mean, here the way Veerabhadra is actually he's also had three highs, right? That's what the verse was telling, I think.
What? What?
Veerabhadra
Yeah.
was
Three
having
eyes.
three
Yeah. Right.
eyes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not Lord Shiva, right?
I don't
Yeah, he's
think
coming from
so.
Lord
No.
Shiva,
No.
body of Lord Shiva. So
Means based on the explanation, but I know he did rose from Lord Shiva's hair.
yeah,
So I don't know how that could be considered, but yeah,
yeah.
he's not exactly Lord Shiva. So
Thank you, Prabhu. I think, but what he got again, Daksha, at least now he got reformed.
yeah,
So for now, so thank you, Prabhu.
thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then what pranam, very, very wonderful class. I also have done more questions, but it is very nice to hear when you are saying how Lord can protect us at any time when He wants to. And such an example of Arjuna, how Krishna lifted that Radhanga Pani, and the name came from that, right? So that
Yes.
was so wonderful. And also, Prabhuji, the next life, Daksha, he didn't like that goat head, also, he got another life, right? After that?
Yes, Mata. Yeah. That's where like he realized his mistake and he tries to offer praise to Lord Shiva and apologizes, and then he resent for his daughter's law, Sati's loss and other stuff. It discussed in the next chapter. So yeah.
Yeah. I think then he wants all sons, not daughters.
Yeah. I don't know in detail. Yeah, maybe true, Mata. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the very nice class.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my
Excuse me.
humble and salvation, Prabhupada and Guru
Yes.
Maharaj.
Excuse me, please. Accept mine too. What came to my mind. Next chapter, we'll see Lord Brahma glorifying Lord Shiva and asking for forgiveness and to allow the sacrifice to continue. And also we have seen when the demigods approach Lord Shiva at the time this halala poison comes out, how they glorify Lord Shiva. So I am just wondering this Prajapati Daksha, how he, it is the exalted position of Lord Shiva is very much in the hearts of the demigods, in the hearts of Lord Brahma and all others. So how come Daksha, miss that point about the Lord Shiva, education about Lord Shiva's position, that totally, just because, you know, uh, that was just coming up as a surprise to me. I know this is, happened. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. I'm also not sure, Mate, but I guess like we can just take it as a pastime for our learning purposes, at least for me.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare
it's
Krishna.
amazing. He's totally.
Yes, Mate, yeah. Like me, we can see like many examples in the scriptures, right? Like many exalted people like doing those simple mistakes.
Yes.
Like I forgot that king who,
Yeah.
while traveling, right? So Lord, again, it's with Lord Shiva only, Lord Parvati,
King Chitraketu.
King Chitraketu, right? So he
Yeah.
is very exalted
Yeah,
position,
but
but still
yeah.
like he somehow like so.
Correct. Hare Krishna.
I'm guessing mostly those are all for our learning purposes, so it might not be their real mistakes or something. So yeah. Thank you. It's already 8:06, Lakshmikant Prabhu, so maybe we can
Yes,
close down. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo ja patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Wish you all happy Krishna conscious day ahead. Thank you all.